Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day number 29 on the road to 2000 Elo series. We are now 1700 officially with the last win, and hopefully we'll be able to get a good result here. We're playing into a Carl Khan, so we're going to play the Panov, which is my preferred way of playing against the Carl Khan. I also dabbled with the two knights, and I like the Panov because it kind of brings the Carl Khan player a little bit out of prep. So let's see exactly how this one plays out. We're playing a 1733 rated player out of the UK. And very simple moves, so we're not taking right away. Instead, we're going to add pressure onto this pawn here. Now after a knight c6, we don't actually have to defend. We can instead try to play something like bishop g5, attempting to win this pawn. Let's give that a shot. Play bishop g5 over here, and the idea is that if this pawn is not defended, takes wins the pawn, because now you remove one of the defenders. And yeah, this pawn is defended by the queen. Now obviously if pawn takes, bishop takes, then I gotta worry a little bit. So pawn takes, but the thing that I have is bishop takes, pawn takes, and then d5, which is a nice little move. So they defend, which is the right way to go about this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, obviously. I like playing this queen b3 move. I don't know if it's good. I remember it not being good in the analysis. I can't remember exactly why. So instead, maybe queen f3 is possible, but that's just met with bishop e7. I don't really see any big ideas there. Maybe I can just take, and then bishop b5, perhaps. I could also just play knight f3. You know, probably knight f3 is the safest move out of the bunch, or the most common move. And we're keeping the tension with the c and d pawns. Okay, now the bishop is preparing for this knight to step out of the way, which means that we have to prepare for something like this, or even knight back, which is a possible move. Maybe now's a good time to play c5. Let's lock in the bishop. How about that? c5, and it closes in the position a little bit. This pawn becomes a little bit of a weakness on d4. It already kind of is. But, you know, right now it's not a threat, and c4 is hard to punish, at least from what I can tell. Knight takes, queen takes, continues guarding the pawn, but also that's just a loss of a piece. Let's play c5, and we'll analyze afterwards. I don't know if this is the right move. I know it's a possible move in some lines in the Panov. I remember studying this for a classical tournament a while back, and it is a very fun opening to play, because, like I said, Carl Khan players don't really know how to deal with it. It's not super common. Okay, a5 lets me play bishop b5, which I kind of want to do. Let's do this. Let's play bishop b5 without thinking too hard. I'm expecting bishop d7, but then I have queen a4, and then knight e5. That's the threat I'm sort of creating. Oh, okay, or they can just castle. Yeah, that checks out. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight here doesn't really threaten anything because the bishop can just slide over to defend. Okay, I just missed castling. Huh. Funny how that happens. Maybe though, bishop here, pawn here, knight here, bishop defends, queen here looks interesting. So maybe let's go for this. I don't know if it's particularly great, but let's give this a go. Let's see how they defend. I mean, they can defend with a rook afterwards, but then that hangs this pawn, so we're creating a little bit of, you know, trouble for my opponent to deal with the position. It doesn't hang the pawn, actually. The pawn's defended by the queen, but I digress. Also important to note, the knight doesn't really have any good moves to step away right now. So this bishop is in trouble if the knight can ever threaten a piece. But, okay, that's not how I would defend. Queen here, and I guess bishop here or here. Probably bishop b7 to try to keep the bishop on the board. Maybe it's a good idea now to castle. It's a good idea now to castle, I think. Let's just castle. Alright. This knight is being eyed by the queen. Important to notice that. There's a tactic here. Bishop takes. Can I play knight takes? Oh. Bishop takes is a nice tactic. Pawn takes, and then, okay. So we don't have any of that business. So if I play queen a4, I'm expecting something like bishop b7. Can I play against that somehow? Do I have anything else in the cards? Maybe I can play something like queen f3? Or maybe just knight g4. Knight takes, queen takes. Could be interesting. Let's give that a go. This feels a little iffy. I'm not gonna lie. It at least steps away from this tactic. But hopefully I'm not missing anything too serious. Let's give it a shot. So if knight takes, queen takes is the idea. Now I have to watch out for a move like this, but then I can just step back. And then they can't move the pawn because that hangs a queen. This move is a little messy, maybe. A little bit weird, perhaps. Maybe I should have taken with the bishop first, and then taken back with the queen. Yeah, so this I saw, but now you can't move this pawn. Unless if, oh, maybe I missed. Okay. Okay, sure. I mean, 1700s, we missed tactics. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm shocked that worked. Do I have to worry about the pawn taking? Probably not. Let's just take with the bishop. I don't mind. Take this pawn. I don't care. I'm taking the extra piece because I can stop your pawn. There's no promotion threat right here. Also, there's no way to attack my queen right now. You know, this hangs rook, this hangs a rook. So we're chilling. And this should be a win. I mean, I don't know if my opponent's playing for anything specific. So now they're trying to go here. Noted. Noted. Let's see, what should I do? Rook here, maybe? So that after this rook's defending the bishop. Checks out. Let's play rook e1. Pawn takes, rook b1 is played. c2, rook c1 is played. Rook here, queen takes on a5. Or even queen takes on c6. I prefer queen takes on a5 because the threat is the one, you know, the one little threat in the position. There's no future there. Okay. Okay, they played a move. I'm going to play rook b1. I mean, I kind of have to. Bishop here, rook takes. Okay. Now, the threat is bishop here. We can just play, can we just play queen takes pawn? Queen takes c6, so that if bishop here, I can just take and then I'm threatening mate. That's pretty. Let's do that. Let's do that. Now we're attacking the pawn, the bishop. Bishop has to move. Okay. Here, trade, promotion, takes, check, no. Okay, back rank is a problem. Maybe it's not as obvious as I thought. But this shouldn't be that hard, right? Here, can I just take the rook? Like, honestly, like, can I please? Takes, bishop here, and it feels a lot easier to win. I don't know if that's the right idea, though. Okay, let's come up with something better. I mean, I have 4 minutes on the clock. Let me think. Bishop here loses because of this. Well, not loses, but it's bad because of this, and then, well, actually, it does lose. Crazy. Should I just play something like here? a4? Does this lock my queen in? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Let's do this. Playing a4. If bishop a2, we have the same idea of rook takes on b2. And, I mean, eventually I'll get my queen back in the game. Maybe this was a mistake, actually. Now that I look at it, maybe this was a mistake. I could just take... Wait, why didn't I just take the pawn? What am I doing? I'm seeing tactics, and I'm not playing them because I'm waiting for my opponent to mess up. I can just take this pawn he can't take back. Because there's mate. Oh, I'm so silly. Okay, well, I'm doing that next turn. If I get a chance, if he doesn't play something like this. I mean, it would be crazy to play something like this in the position they're in, but wouldn't put it past my opponent. I mean, like, you gotta think. They have to realize that this is not a move. If they played bishop c4, they must have realized that. So probably they're going to try to get rid of the back rank threat. And I have to make sure I don't flag, which would be really sad. Like, absurdly sad if I flagged in a position like this. Maybe I can just play... there's so much. I mean, this bishop's a little annoying. Okay. We'll just play queen here. And now they're going to try to play bishop here. I see. What's the right idea? Rook takes. Because if rook takes, then queen... Why do I miss the ideas I literally just talked about? Rook takes, if rook takes, queen takes. Mate. If rook takes queen, rook takes rook, mate. Let's play this. I don't know what I'm doing, man. But how do I miss stuff like this? Like, come on. Come on. I was literally just talking about it, man. Like, yeah, now you're losing. Like, now black just loses and they can resign. I mean, I can play this really quickly. Rook can't take queen because of the pin. And, okay, like, let's find a quick way to win. I should probably just remove my back rank threats. I'll play, like, h3 myself. And we're chilling. I'm also threatening this right now. Just trading off the rooks. No counterplay. Then I don't even have to play h3. But, yeah, okay. I can improve my conversion quite a bit here. So let's just play h3 now. So we never have to worry about hanging back rank, which is typically a good thing to avoid. Tends to be, on occasion. Okay, we're going to defend the pawn. I mean, we're not defending the pawn, but we're attacking this pawn. The more important idea is that I'm going to be bringing my queen in somewhere here, probably. Okay, let's try to win this. How do we win this? Okay, let's take with the bishop. After rook takes something like queen here, or bishop takes, whatever you play, queen check this way is what I had in mind. Or queen check here, king here, queen check here, blocks. Yeah, this looks good. King here, queen check here. If the king goes back up, it's mate, so they have to block, and this is also mate. Oh wait, it's not mate yet. Oy, oy, oy. Ah, this bishop's annoying. Let's just go rook here. Now we're threatening mate. This is taking way too long. This game should not be going this long. I clearly have to get better at converting a win. That's something I can improve on. Okay, but okay. Let's just go here, and now we can win the bishop. That's nice. That's nice. Simple but nice. And yeah, I'm not too worried about time. There we go. We finally got the resignation in. lost. They realized they're losing the bishop. How did I not finish this game earlier? Although I am happy with the win. I mean, my opponent just blundered their queen straight up. We'll take a look and see at that point what the game engine analysis was like, just because I don't know how much better I was, or if I was better. It was an interesting opening, and it led to a situation I wasn't too familiar with. I thought I played a knight move that was a little weird. Let's see exactly what happened in the analysis. We started the game with e4 and c6, so playing the Caro-Kann, and after d4, d5, played the exchange, and then this move c4, which is the Panov attack. And here the right move for my opponent is to play knight f6, or e6, or knight c6. A lot of continuations that are okay. The game is pretty open. There's not much pieces on the board, not much tension on the board. So it takes away from the typical sort of positional play of the Caro-Kann and goes into something where you're playing with an open board and it's just a game of chess. So knight f6 is played. I decide to go knight c3, solidifying an attack on the pawn on d5. It's still not possible to take. I mean, it's possible to take, but it still doesn't really do anything because the queen and the knight are two defenders for the two attackers that are there, which are my knight and pawn. Afterwards, my opponent goes knight c6. I play bishop g5, which the goal of this move is to take the knight on f6, and therefore remove one of the defenders of the pawn on d5. Apparently, it's better for me to play knight f3 here, or just take two other moves that I considered. If I decided to play bishop g5, here they play e6, defending the pawn on d5, and now I play knight f3. So this is all common stuff. Apparently the best move in the position here is to play c5, so I played the best move, and this is a book move, so I was remembering correctly. That's good to know. And a5 is the first inaccuracy of the game. Here I'm able to play knight a4, but I'm also able to play bishop b5, which is what I did play. Knight a4 is a nice move because you have an outpost for the knight on b6, which is really nice. But this move is also good because it's really hard to punish. And here I decide to take the knight, and I could have still gone knight a4. So this is something that I should try to aim for in the future, identifying good squares for my pieces. But instead I decided to take the knight with the reason that I can attack the pawn on c6 now. And I'm asking my opponent, okay, how are you going to defend this pawn? I thought maybe bishop b7 would be played. Apparently it's not that great for whatever reason. And queen c7 is the best option, which my opponent plays. After castles here, I lose my advantage. I should have played something a little bit more pressing, like bishop f4 is a nice move. Bishop f4 threatens knight g6. So let's say here, for example, knight g6 looks like a really nice move. It attacks the bishop, it attacks the queen, and the queen has to move to a square that defends the bishop, like b7. And now I just take and go here, which is a beautiful, beautiful 3 or 4 move tactic. I did not see that, unfortunately. That would have been cool. Instead, I just castled. Can't go wrong with castling most times. And here, my opponent should have done the tactic that I saw, which is bishop takes c5. And here, I was wondering, do I even have to take back? Can I just play something like knight takes, for example? Apparently not. Apparently not. What's the reason, though? After bishop takes pawn, queen takes on d4, rook takes on f7. Oh, I'm down a pawn. Okay, because they can just take another pawn. Gotcha, gotcha. So here what I should do is if bishop takes c5, which is what I saw, instead of taking back with a pawn right away, you play knight b5. What? Knight b5? What is this? Okay. Okay. Oh, they're going for perpetual ideas. Wow. Okay, yeah, no. Not knight b5. Definitely not knight b5. Apparently, something like rook c1 is better. Rook c1 makes a little bit more sense. Now, if you decide to take the second pawn, you actually have queen takes, and now you're threatening like stuff like this. And, you know, it looks pretty good. Oh, wait. Sorry, bishop's not going to take the pawn. What am I saying? What am I doing? Oh, my goodness. My brain's tired. Let's say here you play rook c1. Opponent probably decides to keep the bishop on the board by going bishop let's say b6, for example, well, now you have the threat of taking the knight and doubling the pawn. So probably not that. Instead, they're probably going to go bishop, let's say e7. Seems like it makes more sense. But now knight b5 becomes an idea. Knight b5, and then we see a similar thing to what happened before, where queen b6, let's say, attacking the knight. Now, knight takes c6. Oh my. Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here, and I didn't really see any of that. My opponent didn't see it either, so my opponent just played rook e8. And I decided to make this move, knight g4, which I thought was a mistake. And let's see exactly why it is. The engine says it is a mistake. Knight takes is the right move. Queen takes back, obviously. And e5 is the right move, which I saw, but I wasn't too worried about it after queen g3, and I should have been, because now bishop takes g5, queen takes g5. I hang this pawn, and my knight is going kind of nowhere, really. Where's my knight going? a4? But what's it doing on a4? Nothing. It has no future on a4. Probably b3, knight b2, knight d3, but like that takes way too long. And yeah, that is worse. So my opponent missed this, and they decided to just take the pawn, and they missed that the queen was hanging. So I got lucky here. I guess I got gifted a win. It's an idea I saw, though. I did see that my opponent couldn't move the pawn, so the second that they decided to move it, I jumped on that opportunity. So I just got to make sure I can see a little bit more about what my opponent should be playing and not what they could be playing. This was a case of where I saw my opponent could move their pawn, attacking my knight, taking a pawn, but it would hang a queen. That's what I was thinking. But instead, I should have been like, okay, that is probably not what they're going to play. What is the alternative? Here, they played it. It worked out. I looked like a genius. But it's something that I should work on, where I should identify what my opponent's best move is, or what seems to be their best move. And afterwards, I mean, there's not really too much to see here. Already here, I should have been able to just take the pawn. And I would have been winning. So I just didn't realize that. Instead, I played a4, which is the best move, to be fair. Now I play rook takes b2, also the best move. And now I take. And it got needlessly complicated. I could have just played something like rook e7 here, just wins very easily. Very, very easily. There's no way to defend this pawn. The bishop is taken by the rook here, and the bishop is blocked by the pawn here. So, yeah, I mean, this is just completely winning. Instead, I just went here. I mean, I'm completely winning regardless. I removed the defender of the light-squared bishop with this move, and then my opponent resigns. And that is how I beat a 1733 rated player. I don't think that's the highest rated win I've gotten. I think I've beaten a higher rated player in the past. But we are now at 1709 ELO and counting, so I do belong in 1700, it seems. We will see just how far we can go. The goal is to get to 1800 by the end of 2024, which gives me about 2 months to do it. So, do you all think I can hit 1800? Let me know in chat. Let me know in the comments. And also, if you haven't already and you've gotten this far, please do consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It does help out a lot, and it's been really fun sharing this journey with you all. So if you enjoy it, please do let me know by subbing and liking the videos and commenting as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll be uploading a new video tomorrow. The daily grind does not stop. Take care.